Hey everybody, welcome to Forge the Narrative. This is our Monday webcast. My name is Paul Murphy. I'm joined tonight by my co-host Juice.
Hey, happy Monday, everybody.
I got Kenny Boucher and Rob Bear.
What's up, pimps?
Yo, guys.
What is happening? I think we're like 30 seconds late, and I apologize, but I want to thank everybody for showing up.
Yep, real quick, Chris Gardner, the Archon of Chaos. Nice to see you here. Stoner Steve, Bill, Sean, Lou. How are you? Our man Lou. Keegan, Aaron, Chris, Family of Gamers, Coach checking in. Evan S. Evan S., please stick around for at least another 6 more minutes. I have a bomb Turvagon story I have got to tell you, and to everybody else who's watching.
Story of all stories.
The story of all stories. The pimps of all pimps.
Got to shout out John Marshall, who's watching from an airplane right now on that $1 billion a minute Wi-Fi.
Nice.
Oh,
nice. We better make this worth it. No pressure.
I think it was John Marshall's birthday over the weekend or recently. I don't participate in Facebook birthdays, so happy birthday personally from Forge the Narrative.
From the Forge the Narrative team.
Thank you, John Marshall.
Yeah,
he also has commissioned me, so I really feel indebted to him, and I have a deep-seated love for him.
And you better make this show good.
I'm going to make this show good.
We met John Marshall's brother this weekend.
Yes. Yeah, I think he was dominating with some, what is that, Codex AM?
Yeah, Codex AM. Have Vendettas on the table.
Man, that's where it's at. I mean, I'm telling you, that with the Calexis, Vendettas, and Wyverns, I mean, I don't even know why everybody isn't just playing guard now.
You would have loved this guy. He was running a mana core. That was your heat.
Yeah,
never left home without a mana core.
Yeah.
Two most of the time for you.
Yep. So, this has not been a super busy week. We got some rumors for the Dark Eldar. We got that new bomber picture dropped today, which is kind of neat. It does kind of look like whatever, the Viper, the Cobra Viper.
It does.
Somebody posted in the comments on our Facebook that has preferred enemy G.I. Joe.
But nothing ever dies. Only the battle android troopers die in G.I. Joe.
Yeah, you hit on 6s, rerolling ones. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. What do you do? The new Space Hulk is out, and I think some people are saying they're sold out, but I know of some stores that have them.
Man,
we sold a ridiculous number ourselves. I didn't have enough to put them online, and I was really surprised how many we sold in store. It's great to see a new generation of gamer picking that up because it's like forever old. It's like the timeless tale.
Yeah, same rules, cooler miniatures, of course now, but same thing.
Fresh.
And I like how it's going to drive down the price of the aftermarket. So you won't ever be paying $300 for a Space Hulk again. So if you want to get into it, it's not bad.
I hear that. I feel bad because I haven't really heard anything anybody saying. I so want to tell this story. I'm about to explode inside. I know that.
All right, let's hear it. Then we'll get to some questions.
Okay. All right. So here it is. Let me set the scene. TPM, as everybody else knows, we're at this event this weekend. Kenny, Rob, and I, we played. TPM couldn't make it. He had pretty epic stuff to take care of himself. But while we were there, in my first round, I go up against some Necrons. Basic Necron army, and it's got the Transcendent Satan. So there I am, the 4th turn. Only thing left on the table is Transcendent Satan, and he's in my backfield. What do I have that can mess with this Transcendent Satan? Absolutely nothing. He is about to pick up 4 or 5 different kill points, heavy supports. They're all about to, massive negatives, could lose the game. So I think to myself, well, what do? Well, it looks like my Turvagon with 2 wounds left is about to go toe-to-toe with this Transcendent Satan. Under most circumstances, you're like, that can never happen. I fly a Hive Tyrant over, give it Catalyst for Feel No Pain. At this point in time, I think to myself, well, it looks like I'm going to have to just go Super Saiyan. I am going to throw my dice at it. I'm going to Perils. Then I'm going to roll a 6 and get a 3-up in bone and all the other buffs, Armor Bane, whatever, Flesh Bane, right? That's in my mind. That's my game plan. Before the turn starts.
That means
so magic phase happens. My first dice, Catalyst, goes off. Cool. Then I'm like, oh, I'm going to sneak in 1 dice to see if I can get him to bring any, because he had 5 total dice. I sneak in a Paroxysm, lower the Transcendent Satan's leader or weapon skill and bliss skill by 3. So I'm like 2 for 2 here. I have 3 dice left. Throw my 3 dice, it's a Perils. pick up this dice. I said, you know I'm going to roll a 6. And he's like, I don't think so, dog. Threw a 6. Went Super Saiyan.
Don't tell Juice. If you ever in a situation when you play against Juice and it's like all you gotta do is roll 3 6s right now to win this game, he will every time roll those 3 6s.
It's literally, if that's what my plan comes up to at the end of it, after all said and done, I will do that. So here it comes. This 2-wound Turbogon hops off my Sky Shield, does a backflip, Nug Murder Shuffle in place, goes toe-to-toe with this Satan. It's a wash. Nobody does anything, but it's perfect because I'm not going to get 18-inch deed and electric slide and everything. I'm saving all my little bivores and everything. So the next round of combat, I gain a wound now. I'm in 3 wounds. In the last round of combat before the game ends, that's the turn leading up to it, I do 2 wounds, and it's only got 1 wound left, and he saves both of them, I have to say. My Super Saiyan Turbogon doesn't kill the Satan, but ties it up for 2 turns, actually does the wounds, and he has to actually make the save.
I mean, it was a kill point mission, so he was in a situation where he was actually just going to win the kill points now.
Yes. Yeah, he would roll over 4 or 5 other things. So for everybody who doesn't know how to deal with the Transcendent Satan, like, that's in my list of stuff. I
just roll perfect. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just go Super Saiyan.
Yep. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't do that every game.
Every game.
Well, he didn't realize it was a viable tactic until he thought about it for a minute. And he's like, obviously, I should do this every time.
Formulate a plan. Check.
Yeah.
3 6s.
Check.
Yep.
Gamer Chat's asking if we play any other games, and I assume that's just kind of miniature games. I love board games. I play X-Wing too. That's but 40K is my passion. That's what I spend most of my game time doing.
Yeah, there's been quite a few games that I've gotten into. Excuse me, nothing that stuck. The AT-43, is that what that was?
Yeah.
There is a game. Yeah.
I played that for a while. X-Wing for a while. What's the newest one? I'm sorry, it's leaving my brain right now.
Dust.
Where you can do Dust. Man, was hardcore into that. What a great game and fun.
Literally, I told people that was Oust for 6 months.
Look at the D looks like an O.
Yeah.
It does kind of.
I cannot be the only one who's done that.
No, it does. It does look like an O. I've heard people say that in the store.
Yeah. Oh, I got to give me some of that Oust. I mean, it sounds like it could be the name of a game.
I play. It's a fun board game.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I'm like, I have not seen any one of these things. I didn't realize there were other war games.
There's something else.
Oh, there's actually just 40K, and then some stores also sell Magic cards. That's it.
Yeah, CCGs. Like you can play Pokemon cards or Warhammer 40K. That's all there is in hobbies.
Yeah,
seems reasonable.
Exactly. No, Rampage is a really fun game, board game. If you haven't checked it out yet, because it's like playing the old arcade game.
Too much spitting on your figures and.
No, don't use the blow action.
Ooh, Zombicide.
Zombicide's good.
Oh man, there's nothing like killing some zombies.
I'll give a bonus no prize if anybody recognizes this shirt.
Clicking on it now.
I can't.
Anybody this shirt?
Is that the Zombie High?
No.
What is that, man? It has a Japanese name. University. Oh, Hentai Academy. Got it.
Ooh, heck yeah.
Kenny's close, but don't spoil it for anybody here. Maybe going for the no prize. Family Gamers coach sent us a list of Necrons. Said he picked him up in a trade. Sounded like a pretty good trade, and so wants us to help build him a list. And so we'll kind of take that offline and maybe put together a Necron list. It's a little bit deficient on the Night Scythe category, but it's got Annihilation Barges and Ghost Arcs.
Got all those Catacomb Command Barges?
He said he can make the Annihilation Barges into Catacomb Command Barges if necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of 40K / non-40K games, Bill Cast is saying that he got 7 games of Space Hulk in and is loving it.
That game's so much fun. I wish I had more people to play with.
You can play with Bill.
I could. Come on down to Richmond.
You never know.
Say y'all and drink tea.
Are you sure? I thought y'all too far north for that.
What? Dude, we're below the Mason-Dixon line. Come on, man.
Yeah,
we're
still
south.
a little too north up there for me.
So we're not Southerners to you?
Yeah. So what? We're not people? We still get snow here, dog. Get on my level.
Yep.
Okay, so James Gardner is hitting us up with a question. If anybody has a Grey Knight book handy,
yeah,
I think we might need to revert to. Okay, cool. So he's asking when the Grey Knight Librarian equips itself with some form of relic. I'm not going to try to bash.
Something.
Yes. Domini, Libri, Demonica.
Oh, please stop.
Sounds like you're speaking Latin.
I actually was.
He's trying to summon the dragon.
Rolls an ability on, let's say, divination, but gets the extra Sanctic spell from the relic itself. Do you still get the divination Primaris power for rolling all your powers on the divination tree? Or does that not count?
I think if you roll all your powers on the divination tree, then you would get that Primaris power.
On top of
any other free power you get from a war gear.
If the staff just grants it to you, then yeah, it says if you generate all your powers in the same tree, and if you go into the main rulebook, it says to generate is to roll.
Yeah, and we got a question about Grey Knights too from Lou in an email asking if he should go with a librarian, a 2-wound librarian, or if a beat stick kind of 3-wound character was more important to be that challenge bait or at least challenge buffer in one of his other units. So I'll throw that out. What do you guys think about that?
Depends on what you're trying to do.
What race
for Grey Knights. Grey Knights, specifically.
Well, Stern. I've got a couple of lists with Stern right now that I'm thinking about. Stern is a sleeper unit that not a lot of people are talking about. Let me see if I can't pull it up right here. Stern comes with Sanctuary. So
tell us what you're talking about.
So I got this list right now where I got Stern, and also he's level 2 Psyker, but so I got Stern and a level 3 Librarian. Looks like I got a Strike Squad, Terminator Squad. My Terminator Squad is 10-man strong. Looks like my Strike Squad is also 10-man strong with Rhino. Or no, it's 5 guys in a Rhino. Got 3 Red Knights, Drago. Then I go to Sisters, snag up that reroll save Priest using some of Paul Murphy's Sweet Love tech, who's got the auto pass the power from the relic section in the Sisters Codex. Taking Saint Celestine, get that hit and run. Taking that minimum squad, the Sisters Battle Squad out of their Codex. It's 1850, so the whole idea, I guess, is I'm taking 10 Terminators, Drago, Stern, and a Librarian attached to them, teleporting across the table and casting Sanctuary with that Priest and the Saint.
Okay.
Is Drago inclusive or an intensive part of the plan? Because if he's got Drago, he doesn't need to care about whether he's got somebody to soak up challenges or not.
No, well, I mean, I'm just. It's not even about challenges anymore. It's about the fact that you have 10 super cheap Terminators that have 2+8s of rerolls. You have in close combat. They all have increased invulnerable saves now because of Sanctuary.
And the fact that their objective secured is love.
Yeah, basically, I never even realized that's how good Stern was until
I think Stern is actually a good stopgap against both of these things, and Drago is.
Especially in the Granite Codes, you got a unit that has invulnerables. Make sure someone has invulnerables. I mean, he's only 185. Consider that you get absolutely free Sanctuary. Like he's got it. He also has that weird reroll rule where he gets reroll anything, but gives up a reroll. Man, that can come through if you just need something to happen right now.
100%. I wish that more things. I would spend and couldn't even put a number on it. The amount of points to have an all-seeing eye in every one of my armies, or the ability to re-roll more dice.
Oh my god!
So,
think about that magic though. That love. That I got this blob that teleports across the room. It's got Sanctuary, the re-roll every save on Earth. It's a relatively low investment compared to other Death Stars where you have these really economically priced Terminators a lot of psychic powers. You got the new Drago hotness in there, plus 3 Nemesis Dread Knights that shunt up on the first turn. All of them just lining up your opponent's backfield. And then you have double layer of redundancy for hit and run for that big unit, because you have the Saint that gives them traditional hit and run, and Drago who gives them Sanctuary. So Gate of Infinity. So you have 2 opportunities to get out of close combat every time.
Yeah.
Someone shuts you down.
So I guess let me kind of answer the question though. Is it trying to beef up a librarian to take that role of someone who can eat the challenges is probably not the best idea. I think I would only do that if I really, really needed the additional psychic dice from that librarian to complete some other strategy. I would not want to invest points into him to make him more of a challenge-worthy character.
Yeah, and I'd like to kind of use an example. We got a great friend of the show who runs a list that kind of relies on, with minimal dice, invisibility instead of a chapter master. It's like, right? Yeah, so it's like if you've only got 5 or 6.
Though.
Yeah, if you got 5 or 6 dice and your army be spread out between a couple level 1s and 2 psychers, and you don't have a beat stick to soak up all these mass shots like a chapter master with a short turn.
Or the challenges, like he was saying.
Yeah, I mean,
someone to stop the instant death, flow from entering your squad.
Yep. And I would like to bring up, I must have deleted his question got left, but Lamont just wanted to know, with the models that we talk about playing, the lists that we do and come up with, like, is there any tips or tricks, or how do we acquire the models that we need?
Oh, I see it here. He's asking about how do we magnetize, how do we get all the options?
Yeah, what kind of options do we have? And just my personal, how I go about things is I magnetize with all my NIDs. I magnetize anything in arms that I can. Wings, take things off. I create, as some people have seen, with the High Fleet Lexus, when they need a new monstrous creature, believe me, it's there. And believe me, I don't go to the store all the time and buy it. So.
GW for just 1 second, though. The kits they're designed so well. I mean, it's all computer generated now. It's not somebody sculpted in one little thing to fit in a certain specific place. Now everything's very clean, and it's almost like they've laid out. I mean, they did not do this intentionally because they want you to buy models. But where you put the magnets is not a mystery anymore. You can look at them all and go, if I want to switch, I got a magnet right here.
Yeah, it used to be a little bit less user friendly back in the day, but nowadays it's pretty easy to do. And you can Kenny taught me this trick too. I think Kenny or David, they took those roller trays that you take paint rollers for, like latex paint, like when you're painting your walls and stuff. They're actually metal, and they're super easy to trim with shears.
Yeah,
and they're really thin.
Scissors. You can cut them into any shape you want.
Yep, and then you get this nice little thin tin strips that are actually magnetic. So if you need
they're steel. So
right, they're steel. So they'll hold the magnet. If you glue that to one side and you put your magnets in the other, it's great. It works amazing on flat surfaces. Like if one side's flat and one side where you can drill a magnet. What's also good
about it is it's cheap. Like stockpiling a bunch of magnets and using 2 magnets for everything and trying to remember what your polarities are. That can get obnoxious. Like $5 is infinity of this metal.
You save time too. You don't have to drill a hole. You don't get glue all over your fingers. You just cut a little strip. Put it where you need to go.
Every time you're doing like a box vehicle that has like spawns or whatever, I put the metal inside the tank on every tank, and then you can just throw magnets on all the weapons. You don't even have to track what the polarities are.
You can use a little bit of sprue, like for rhino doors, a Predator or a Razorback or whatever. You could put a little bit of the sprue, the actual sprue, kind of glue it across, going across like a beam across the inside of the rhino hatch. Put the metal there, and then you put the magnet onto that.
Yeah, you're right. I've had to do that a couple times too.
It's just a way. It's just a way to do it. That's using that sheet metal.
But that's like literally. I've got like a tank right here. I think it's off screen. That David makes them exactly like you're describing. There's even like bits of sprue that are perfect for this.
Oh, there you go.
That have a little circle in the middle, like the middle of like the sprues.
That's for the magnet and stuff. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like perfect sprues for it, but like interesting point for Lamont, like for the way I make them is I don't even when I make my personal arms I don't even do that anymore. I come up with a super cool idea for an army list. I make it. I play it exactly as is, and collect it. Like if I feel like I want to add to some other point, this is all after playtesting with proxies. I feel like I want to change anything about it, I just make a new army. I don't even care. Like I get hot to that, man. You know, like just making new armies.
But I like what you said there is if you proxy something, like if you have too good a gaming group that they won't let you proxy, like fine, other gamers. But don't just start buying stuff that you don't necessarily need or that you know is going to work. That's how you save the #1 tip to saving money. Don't just buy random models. Talk about it, ask, get other people's opinion, get your play style, proxy with it. I've seen people use pieces of paper. You know, you don't have to get that bad, but either way, just make sure you know what you're buying so you just don't have models sitting on the shelf.
I'm gonna break out the super secret tech. This is like the way to baller on a budget. The secret.
Break it down.
All right. Every 3 hours, I go to eBay and I search Warhammer. Just the word Warhammer. All right. And then I see what comes up, and then I just like scroll down, and it takes me maybe 2 or 3 minutes just to scroll and see what's on the next. You know, that's going to expire within the next couple of hours. If I find something out, and I sort by what's time ending soonest. And if something's right in that price range, like if I can get something for under 50% off with shipping, that's everything included, I consider that a good deal. And those are hard to come by on eBay. That's why you got to be diligent about searching. And what you'll find is not everybody lists things the same way. So you got to kind of key into how people list certain things that you want. Like, do they spell Tech Marine as 1 word or 2 words? Is Warhammer, do they spell it with 1 M or 2 M's? You know. And then if you find that kind of sweet thing or whatever, then you find a seller, because if you found that one, you just happen to luck in, like eBay the algo just showed you something from that one dude, look for his other items, or his or her other items, and see what other maybe gems may be hiding in that dude's stack, especially if, like, I've gotten so many catechins that way. I just saw, and this is no lie, you know, a Forge World Wave Serpent with the cool gems, not those goofy sprongs or whatever they are, went for $20.
Gracious.
You know, just seeing that kind of stuff. You know, 30 Storm Guardians I think sold. I mean, I had my eye on that. It went above my range. You know, and I even said like, I almost bought that thing. It's like, if I can get this Wave Serpent for under $20, I'm gonna buy it, because I got a sickness. I collect those old Forge World Wave Serpents. So that's what I do. You know, search about every 2 or 3 hours. And see the rhythm in which people do the listings. You can get, you know, you'll find those gems on eBay to pick up things that you're looking for. And if you're playing a Marine army, the world is your oyster. You can make Marine bits do almost anything you ever want them to do.
Pearls everywhere.
But don't try to find any scout speeders, because nobody's got them for sale right now.
I've got 6 right here.
And you can thank Forge Narrative for that.
Where'd you get those from?
Like spiky bits.
Oh,
that's why I don't have any.
Forge Narrative. Let me go off on a rant here for a second, and I'm gonna call somebody out. A good buddy of mine, a guy who has he flies to Georgia to hang out. He stayed at my house. You guys know him as Go Boy, all right? Wrote a list today, posted it on Bowls, the exact list we've been talking about for orcs, exact list. He knows it. I've talked to him in text. I told him this list. Credited other sources.
Maybe he's just such a social butterfly that he forgets where he hears stuff.
Maybe so. But believe it, that list came from y'all know who. This section right here.
Well, speaking of orcs, Stoner Steve said he had an Imperial Knight TKO stomp out a Stompa yesterday.
I bet that was cool.
I bet that felt amazing.
Kicked him into Jimmy.
Yep.
He's got those D attacks. It'll do it.
Hey, getting back to what Paul was saying about the eBay searches, another cool tip too is people spell Forge World differently. Like, Forge World's actually 2 words, believe it or not, but a lot of people make it 1 word, and sometimes
W makes everything 1 word. Yeah.
Sometimes it's easy to find stuff that way too. I picked up a few things here and there myself. Got some good deals.
We got some new people checking in. Just want to give a shout out to AK Sasquatch.
There we go.
And don't be afraid to trade. There's a couple of good trading communities out there. You know, you want to trade with reputable sources, people that got ratings. I wouldn't, like, if you're just getting into trading, I wouldn't be trading with anybody who doesn't have a backlog of, like, you know, lots of successful, well done trades. But there's people out there who just do. They love to go through, just switch armies, swap armies, do this, that, and the other.
Ooh, Justin Troop thinks he's got the shirt question figured out. Is that a Bully Academy?
Bully Academy.
Old school and older console game?
It isn't. Kenny was closer, because I told him, I think.
No, I think Kenny just is fixated on hentai.
Oh, there you go.
Can't lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You're my friends. I am fixated on that.
Do not Google Legend of the Overfiend. Whatever you do.
That's my jam.
Chris Gardner has figured out Kenny and I's secret. He says, "Will Kenny paint dreadnoughts for bacon?"
I was actually figuring out what my exchange rate would be for that. I will paint 25 for 25 pounds of bacon. I will paint a dread knight.
Nice. Ooh, Aaron Shear is asking what he's trying to get his Marine Army going. Pre-Heresy Luna Wolves. Now, are you doing the original white color scheme? Are you doing the Sons of Horus color scheme, or are you going with more towards the Black Legion color scheme? Because I have a Luna Wolves army that I'm very proud of, and I can tell you how I did it. Although it's not a paint guide per se, but I can tell you exactly how I did it, and it involves paint pens.
Wow, you did all that black shadowing with paint pens?
No, I made up a mix. This is back before I started painting that army before washes came out. So I made up a black ink and future floor wax wash, and I did a lot of the shading with that, and then dry brushed back the white, and then on that where it wasn't crisp enough, I went in with a paint pen and just lined the crap out of that thing, the whole army.
That explains a lot.
Man, this is the TPM corner tonight.
Paul Murphy still.
You want to know how to be a slightly above average gamer?
Man, TPM corner is on full effect right now. I love it.
He's got all the answers, guys.
Solo Falcon, aka Helldrake hater Brian, checking in. Speaking of Helldrake hating, I am actually Kenny and I keep talking to him. We're trying to figure out a triple to quad Hive Tyrant and double Helldrake list.
So Helldrake loving?
Helldrake McLovin me.
There it is. I saw that McLovin ID you had on your fridge, Juice.
Yep.
Basically decided that Helldrakes are better than Hive Crones now.
Yep. Helldrake is the new Hive Crone. They're almost. As Kenny asked if they were 1 foot in the grave, and I was like, 1 foot and half an angle.
But I love playing against Hive Crones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I got to shout out Chris Gardner for calling out my Facebook or my Twitter hashtag I've been trying to get every week. That remember where you were.
Remember where you were, right?
Solid. Thank you for commenting on that. I want to be where you are with this caramel glazed chicken breast wrapped in bacon.
That sounds good.
I feel like Kenny will lower his 25-pound of bacon offer if you start throwing in something like that.
Yeah, seriously, I'll just take one of those.
Yeah.
Gamer Chap's asking what we would do or where we would go to get some list building on Raven Guard. My advice is to not play Raven Guard.
I know some people out there swear by it, but you know what, man? If you just played Client Racking, there's just no way it's not better.
Yep, but I do want to give...
It's also black armor, right?
If Iron Hands also, yeah.
Two tournaments ago, we had a listener of the show do very well at a Hit Point Hobbies tournament. Actually took second, right behind me, and he had Raven Guard with jump packs. And if there's a way, if you could contact us, Raven Guard expert, and let us know what your list is, we can talk about it and maybe spread the love to help everybody else out.
We hate on some of these codexes or the chapter tactics a little bit, but at the end of the day, I mean, they are a Marine army. And Marine armies are very
at the end of the day, they're Space Marines. They don't suck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because MA, multiple scoring unit Marines like combat tactic in a Rhino. I mean, it's just so powerful in this format. I mean, just a stock Marine splitting into like 2 groups of 5 just in itself is a lot of answers for things out there. Actually, it's not bad.
Why do you think that I want Helldrakes in my list and Hive Crones are on the way out? It's like, take a guess how many a non-Torrent AP4 Flamer Marines that's going to kill versus a Torrent Strength 7 AP3.
Well, I think when we start seeing more tables full of Purifiers, that Helldrake's going to make a triumphant return.
Yeah.
Helldrake's always dear in my heart.
That would make me so sad.
Family of Gamers was asking us, I guess I hash up the last question. Like, so now that we know it's 40K character you would want to drink with, what drink would you share with him other than Wild Turkey? For Family Gamers. There's only really one answer to that question, and that's Smirnoff Ice.
Oh my lord!
If we're not allowed to drink Wild Turkey, we're drinking Smirnoff Ice, and we are getting iced.
I was thinking about having a nice snake bite.
Thinking about a super hot, almost boiling Smirnoff Ice hidden in my pillowcase when I go to bed.
That it might be the only way that you out-fortitude Corbolo.
Yeah. Me and Kamasayaka are having a drink. That's what I'm making him drink.
Yeah, rocket sauce.
Yeah, I have to say that when Drago and I, we don't sit down. We will stand up and drink with each other. That it is a Titan Juice double vodka Red Bull.
You got that? No, you got that new drink. What's your new tech?
Ooh, grape vodka.
King grape.
Yep.
Purple vodka.
Purple drink.
Well, if y'all are going with the Smirnoff Ice, I guess I got to go with the Zima because in the far future there is only Zima.
Snake bite Zima.
Let me get back on top. Aaron's going with original white for his Luna Wolves. You guys are the painters. I'll let you talk about how you would paint that, and I'll come in with how it's actually been painted.
Well, first off, the white that I've been using for years, it's a real simple. It's called Whiteout. It comes with a nice brush already on together. And so what I do is I apply left to right with strips, and it flakes really good. So where if I over cake in on some areas, I can just fingernail it off.
You can just drop the model on the floor.
Dude,
sometimes
you can do the best April Fool's like hobby articles, dude. Like it would be just the best, dude.
Yeah. I don't know who I'm fooling. Like, yo, I'm serious. That's what I do. I'm just kidding.
Man.
I think Forge World actually has a guide for painting Luna Wolves. Like, you can go to their site under downloads, and they had one for each. I know they did it for book 1, but I think because they had Luna Wolves, they had Death Guard, they had the Slaanesh, Emperor's Children. What was the other chapter? I don't know. Whatever one was in there that was bad. They had pretty good looking. I mean, they're not like World Eaters, which are kind of white too. White and blue rather, but no, they're good. Definitely check those out. Those are pretty good guides. I mean, Kenny's whites are fresh. I would just say use a gray and then a white over top because I haven't painted white in like forever.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, like I basically just go to if you just go to Vallejo and you just grab their stuff, it usually works out pretty good.
We got some Luna Wolves.
Click on his thing there.
Now, I can tell just by looking from here, he did not use the barely tabletop quality painting method of whiteout.
Pull it back a little bit, Paul. There you go.
Paul, we cannot hear you if you were talking.
Does he know he's muted?
I was muted because I was bouncing around or whatever. Oh, look at me. There you go.
Extreme close stuff.
I know, it's not. Oh, it's so bad. I'll put some up on the Facebook.
Yeah. You focus for a second.
I know. And this is
just for a second.
No, it goes bad.
Oh.
I know. And like, there's one of my room priests / librarians. Anyway, you get the idea. I'll put them up on Facebook.
Fresh.
This is terrible on the G chat.
So Justin Troop basically needs he's going to live vicariously through the next month through our 40K gaming because he has packed up all his models. He's packed his bags. He is moving to the NCVA area. J Troop, can't wait to chill with you, and congratulations on the game Sunday night. Everybody doesn't know he is a Pittsburgh fan, and they took down my Panthers.
That was not a very good game.
No, it was not. Ooh, the Archon of Chaos says that he would drink tequila with Karn.
Did y'all get this question here? What happens when the Crimson Slaughter chosen roll beast from mutation while embarked in a vehicle?
Did not get to that.
That's Archon's question. Or he says, hey, what happens when the Crimson Slaughter chosen roll for beast of mutation while embarked in a vehicle?
You mean when they become beasts?
Yeah, when they become beasts, yeah.
They just explode and the vehicle detonates and becomes a catastrophic explosion?
You just want to maybe just get out one at a time in single file, orderly line?
I believe that's in the rulebook. No panicking.
Yep. Everybody. Single file to the exit, no more than 6 inches away from this thing.
You can't yell fire on a rhino.
Check this sweet Luna Wolf logo here.
Whoa.
Ooh, fresh.
That is not hand painted. That is a decal that you may or may not be able to find online. Printed on my own printer.
Man, that's a laser printer, man. That's clean.
It is not a laser printer. I have bad printer luck. It's the only thing it ever printed, and then I had to throw it away.
So Johnny Watkins is saying that with the release of the Dark Eldar Codex, he's thinking that that's going to be the end of the B-Star because allegedly the Baron is not going to be in it. How do you guys think that's going to affect the meta?
Well, I know it's going to cause a lot of people to hurt themselves, probably.
Just basically going to have to kill themselves because.
I mean, when there's, we do not endorse that nor suspect that or anyone, but I think there's going to be some disappointed people if that whole 2+ soaking up wounds and hit and run is gone.
Well, definitely the 40K easy button has definitely gone away thus far, so I don't see why they wouldn't continue that trend.
Yeah.
I mean, hit and run basically is one of those rules that probably just needs to not exist for competitive play.
In moderation, it's fine.
I mean, or it just needs to be rephrased to like every model in the unit. And so the intention is not to be able to bestow this amazing gift upon any unit in the game, but to have units that are capable of hit and run guerrilla warfare tactics, not 30 or 50 Imperial Guardsmen, guerrilla experts all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
And which I don't understand why it's changed. What's happened where you would always move as the slowest model in your unit? Like, I don't understand how all of a sudden the fastest guy makes everybody else who's super slow all of a sudden ninja-like fast.
He just drills it in. He has a pep talk before the game. He's like, "Hey, listen, guys, we got to get out there. We got to give 110%. We got to get, we got to go. We got to move the ball 100 yards. We got to score some points.
Score more touchdowns than the opponent.
No I in team. No crying in baseball. Everybody go."
Yep. That's right. That's how.
Right. I've retracted everything I just said.
But he does it with a bionic eye and a power claw, so everybody listens to him.
Yeah, that's his pet. Nobody cares.
He keeps it strong.
His sweet laser beam eye gets the job done.
Dante gets all somber. He's like, listen, I've been around a long time. I just want to let you know when I scream run, everybody got to break out.
I don't run very often, but if I do, there's
have you ever seen me running? You better get to stepping.
I don't always run, but when I do,
it's actually real. Faster than you. So.
Yeah, it's a lot faster than you. It's like it's not even a matter of are you gonna have to keep up or you're not. I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Love it.
Maybe that's what with Dante. Everybody just grabs hold of him as he's getting that jump pack.
Ooh, so Sean says that he would drink car bombs with Bushmills. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, you can't say car bombs.
But those are Irish car bombs. Those are drinking. He's
you can't say that.
I apologize.
Yeah.
It's racist to say that.
Yeah.
A drink? Okay. I apologize. To another question we go.
People, the only people who bomb cars is racist.
It's true.
So, but that is not a bad choice, I'll say.
I just want to say I'm perfectly capable of that task. And
we get this question a lot. I said, Thodin's asking about picking up an airbrush. Which airbrush to pick up, which brand of paint to use. We get this question a lot. And I'm not the expert, so I'll let the experts say what's up.
Iwata Eclipse.
Iwata Eclipse. Affordable. There are plenty of, you can get some pretty deep discount coupons. There's certain retailers out there if you so choose. Get a cheap compressor from someplace like Harbor Freight Tools or someplace like it, your choice. It doesn't have to be a high-dollar compressor.
Doesn't look like much, but I've had this Eclipse for 4 years in business now.
Yep, clean it regularly.
Yeah,
heat right here.
I actually asked these guys the question in a group text the other day, and TPM gave some great advice where you can find. My buddy found a 40% off coupon at where was it? Hobbytown. Hobby Lobby, and was able to pick one up for, I think after everything was said and done, he picked it up for like $150. 140.
He must have got the Cadillac
Yeah, he got the nice one. It was originally like $220. He doesn't buy anything under. So
he must have got the absolute Cadillac, because I think the Eclipse, I want to say like 140 retail, and then you're picking it up for $100, $80, something like that. But anyway, yeah, there's plenty out there. But the Eclipse is like, and it pushes any kind of paint. It will push any paint you get out of a miniature pot. You do have to thin it, and there's different techniques on thinning it. Again, I ain't the expert, but that's what you need. So
you are an expert, man. You've had
Well, I mean, yeah, but I do it. I can't even get fades. It's like when I go to shade another color, I just have to hope that some of it shines, bleeds through the other one. No modulation, but whatever.
You've been banging out airbrushing now for a while. I mean, basically, just everyone just do yourself a favor and save up for an Iwata Eclipse instead of that next Land Raider you're gonna buy.
Yeah,
the only word of advice that I can offer is be careful how cheap of a compressor you buy, because I bought one of those Harbor Freight ones and it melted on me. They replaced it though. I got a new one out of it.
Yeah, you buy the replacement plan, and then you still are ahead of the game, even if it does. I've had one out there that I sometimes I've left it on for 48 hours at a time.
I'm surprised your house didn't set on fire.
My compressor's on right now.
Yeah, I mean, I just come down. You don't know how mad I get at myself when I come walking down the stairs and I hear that. Like, I haven't been down here in a week.
It's compressing a lot of air.
Yeah.
Well, for the record, I did not buy the replacement plan. They just replaced it for free. So that was nice.
Hey,
I wouldn't roll the dice. I would not roll the dice on that, but I would definitely suggest you. Well, what the point is, you do not need an expensive compressor. Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, it's like, okay, I'm gonna get this cheap compressor. Even if I have to buy 3 of them, it's still less than what I would buy this fancy airbrush miniature paint compressor for.
Mark Murphy, Paul Murphy's cousin, says Michael's Crafts carries Badger stuff. Badger has a 105 Patriot, which I would use if you needed, if Badger was the only thing available to you. Hobby Lobby has the same deal on the Eclipse, though, I think, right, Paul?
Yeah.
They run the same coupons. So like basically, Michaels runs Badger and Hobby Lobby runs Iwata.
Yeah, and I sometimes will even honor each other's coupons too, and there ain't no shame in going through the line twice. You just be like, here's my one coupon for the airbrush, here's my coupon for the compressor. Thank you. Have a nice day, old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, or go in there with your girlfriend and your buddy and everybody else and print off all the coupons for everybody. And then just...
Oh, is that how that's supposed to work? I'm usually notorious for going into my stuff as food. Limit 8 giant pork roasts per customer. I'm like, oh, I need 20 of these pork roasts. I put 20 in my buggy, and I get them all for the two.
And they don't say anything?
They don't say anything. Never, not once. Have they ever.
There you go. You can just use the juice method and just go in there like it's
yours.
It's yours.
Yeah.
You
already yours. Just
you already bought this.
Yeah, this is a formality.
Yes. This is happening.
Oh man.
So Christopher Morgan throws it out there saying the hit and run is the 40K equivalent of the TPM Life Talk.
There you go. Listen, let me tell you this. Let's talk about it. You don't ever want to be on the side of that, I promise. Whole lot of tears, questioning life. Eva's saying that Space Hulk got him into the game back in the day.
I think a lot.
And I can see that. I mean, I still had that Tyranid Attack box. Had that up until not that long ago, where you had a bunch of the old ugly Tyranid warriors and a couple librarians in them, or something.
Oh yeah.
You could get that box. You used to be able to get that box and split them with your buddy and have almost an army to play with at the time.
I don't know if you guys can see right there, but I have the old Space Hulk box that's still got all the figures in it up there up top from the 80s.
Nice.
One of the first things I got into, because I could actually play it.
The 80s. Bob Bear's 20s.
Robbie B, I just want to go ahead and give you a nice shout out on your B laboratory. It is definitely very, very fresh right now.
Thanks, dog.
No doubt.
Had to slim it down, had to put everything into one room. So, Many toys were lost or sold along the way.
Juice at his beat laboratory. I sat where he's sitting here when we went down to Hit Point Hobbies the other day. That couch is amazing.
Oh my gosh!
Is it one of those soul-sucking couches?
Yes.
Man,
so comfy.
It's 4 feet wide, man.
Like, yeah, 8 feet long, 4 feet wide. Like I don't do anything soft.
He literally has 10 couches.
I don't play. Yep.
Nice.
So, Archon of Chaos again. 2 things. He's got a birthday in 3 days. I want you to know a big early happy birthday from us here at Forge the Narrative. We are the first.
Because we will forget in 3 days. P.S.
We'll be recording in 3 days. If you listen to the podcast, hit us up on Facebook. Say what you'd like us to talk about on the podcast, and that will be your birthday present from us.
Boom! It has been done. So he also has a question here. He wants to know: is Karn the Betrayer? Is there any way to make a good competitive list with him in it? He's been thinking of a Land Raider with Bellacore / invisibility, with Cypher maybe, possibly including a Fortress of Redemption with the Escape Hatch. He has an extensive collection. Models aren't an option if canned corn can be used.
I feel like everything he just said in there will probably be okay. A Fortress of Redemption seems good. Carnichair, Cypher, infiltrating, just solo them up out of the escape hatch.
Nice.
Cypher, I mean, they're pretty clear now that you can't infiltrate. Characters that don't have infiltrate can't get it. But if you get that Warlord trait that lets you to infiltrate, then you have Cypher tag along with a bunch of cultists or something. My thought process is this. If you have Karn attached to a squad of 3 obliterators coming out of an escape hatch, and you make a fire base of an army so where they have to come at you, and all of a sudden, when Karn is ready, he can just pop up either solo with these guys to kind of soak up some wounds when somebody gets mid-board. Like, obviously, you're maybe because he's not as good points cost-wise, but as long as you make up for it in the rest of your list to kind of counteract that deficit, I think you'll be fine.
And if you need to, also I was commenting on the Warlord trade. If you need it, just go here on Blackheart. It's a dumbed down version of that Warlord trade, but you'd always have it.
What about like a multiple combined arms with basically all the super characters? So you take Abaddon, Typhus, Karn, Huron, and then just a bunch of cultists.
You had me at hello.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you should do.
Chaos Super Friends.
Yeah, join them in, put them in the Fortress of Redemption or the Firestorm Redoubt. I'd probably prefer the Firestorm Redoubt in that situation.
All right, I might not be good at 40K for asking this question, but I'm going to ask it. Can you put that unit or models into Space Wolf drop pod, even if they're not?
Not Battle Brothers. You have to be Battle Brothers to get in each other's.
Okay, even though it's a fast tag choice, but it doesn't. Okay, I knew it wasn't a dedicated transport, but anybody. All right, got it.
Juice doesn't know the answer to the thing because he plays Tyranids, and there's no.
Tyranids are power armor, right?
It has to be. You cannot start people in a dedicated transport, and all drop pods outside of the Space Wolves are dedicated transports, and then you have to be Battle Brothers.
Gotcha.
So you have to wait till the Dark
Escape
Angels
Hatch
come
it is.
out. Since all the Dark Angels are heretics, you have to wait till they come out, and then you can probably do it.
Maybe we'll get a Blood Angels book here soon. Well, actually,
Sean Bailey congratulated us on our weekend. I wanted to take this opportunity to shout out Hip Hobbies because since we're at about 10 minutes left, these guys put on a great show. They were very accommodating and very cool guys, and they were so happy to see us, and we were happy to see them. They were very so much hospitality. Really great store down there in Juice's neck of the woods. Put on a great show. Jeff and Brock, and John, those guys are great. We are going to start talking about something for them soon. We just don't have the info yet. They do run a Toys for Top 40K event.
Yeah, like a charity thing. So we
That's
definitely
so
want to
cool.
help with that.
Yeah, when you can go and just do what you were doing anyway and happen to be helping people at the same time, that's really cool.
Yeah, I've been a part of it 2 years. We've done it 2 or 3 years in a row now. Every year it keeps getting bigger and bigger. 2 years ago, we raised an all-time high of $1,001. And the guys from Tours for Talk came by and was just so surprised that we could raise that much in a single day just for this hobby. And so he came back by the next year, this past year, and we beat it. We did $1,002.
And one of the other things they offer is like, obviously you go there, you're playing a sweet tournament where you can buy like re-rolls and all these goofy stuff and keep the game going. But also they do a donation program. We can just donate models and they'll auction them off and just throw the money at it. So as we get more details from these guys, obviously we'll leak these details and all try to come down to this tournament down there, Hip Hobbies. But other than that, we had a great time. We played a lot of good games, met a lot of new people. We met a lot of people of varying different skills with this hobby at different levels of the hobby. Was able to share some of my experiences with those guys while playing with them in a tournament. I played against Patrick, who's always hitting us up on the show. Wanted to.
Yeah.
Sorry for the beatdown that I had to lay on you, but
you gotta do what you gotta do.
But I got to play on the table with the castle on it, and
oh, you played them on a castle table?
Well, that's the castle table is the second name of it. It's the champagne room. Is actually
it is the champagne room.
You'll give just a quick like a super quick 2 minutes each rundown of what y'all were playing.
Okay, I was playing Super Friends 2.0, the Super Friends list with the Iron Priest tech.
Yep, sounds good.
There we go. There you go. I was playing triple Tyrant, single Exocrine, double Biovore, Sky Shield, Venom Throat. My Tervigon was actually in my HQ slot because I was double catting, thinking like I'm not taking the 4 Tyrant, but there it is. So I moved it to the HQ slot for this game. I ran 4 squads of 10 Termagants, a single Hypcrone. Took second place.
And I brought up the rear, so to speak. With I was running Purifiers, 2 squads of Purifiers, squad of Centurions, Tigerius, and then Librarian with the Strike Squad for Grey Knights, and I was taking the Strike Squad formation. This is a list that Night 12, friend of the show, played me against, and I was like, man, I have almost all this stuff painted. I need to run this. But then when I gave it a little tweak, threw in a Calyxus Assassin, put them all in pods, 5 pods. 2 of them had Blood Claws in it. Rune Priest went in with one of the Blood Claws to drop in. But the cool thing about having the pods is that the Purifiers can come in, and the Purifiers really can do a lot of work depending on what psychic powers you get. And I was able to leverage that.
Yeah, did you mention that you had the Imperial Bunker with escape hatch?
Oh yeah, so Imperial Bunker with escape hatch.
Good old sweet escape hatch tech.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy because he could put the Centurions in there if he had to pop them out midfield, or he leaves the Killexes back in there depending on the matchup, or puts the Killexes in the drop pod. But I mean, regardless, he combat squads all these Purifiers, drops down, tries to pop a Misfortune off on a unit, and then all the Cleansing Flame pops off with Strength 5 rending, basically against the unit that's Misfortune. I mean, I saw him
and everything else.
I saw like 5 Wave Serpents go down to this thing, because it ignores cover too, like all the Cleansing Flame.
Yeah, depending on how you do it, you get some really good combinations, like with Misfortune and Ignore Cover if you roll it, which you should at least get one of those with Tiggy, hopefully, and then you got 3 rolls with him, 3 rolls with the Rune Priest, and then because you got to upgrade them, and 2 rolls with 3 rolls with the Librarian, 2 rolls with the Rune Priest.
It is like what Paul was talking about in the beginning, like it seems like 10 Purifiers combat squatting is the best way to get 4 warp charge points,
Yeah, just pull a point out of that book.
It's the amount of warp charges that list generates. It's pretty astounding. And at 2K you can just add in a Dread Knight, and it does some work. So you get extra warp charge too.
Yeah, I mean we did good with the list. Got to play against some good people. You got to have your rematch with McCoy. I heard that went well for you. Well, we've been meeting a lot of the same guys out here in the North Carolina area, and it's really good to see them all going to different tournaments.
Seems to be like a real good community. That's nice to see.
Yeah, that's one thing I did want to throw out, that the Southern Pines, Aberdeen area, that's where Hit Point Hobbies is. It's only right at an hour from Fayetteville and Durham. And the good thing is that these guys are all traveling. We go to everybody else's tournaments, so it's a real good thing. Steve Bruley came down and brought some people with him. Like, can't wait. Hopefully everybody will be able to keep showing the love.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to coming back.
Very much. I also enjoyed myself at the Beats Laboratory in Southern Pines at Deuce's house.
Casa de Hugo.
Rolled up with I rolled up with like 20 beers.
Yeah, I didn't know if anybody could tell that I was superhuman tonight. How massive my hands are.
It turns out that 24 packs of Coronas is to buy everywhere sometimes.
The tiny Coronas. It's like, this is an amazing deal. I can't believe how cheap these are.
Get there, like little 8-ounce bottles.
Yeah, they're so tiny. But Juice brought me a tiny bottle of scotch, so it was a good trade.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, Sean Sawyer brings up that Forge World character to give the cultists Furious Charge. Are you talking about Necrosis?
Yeah, that's got to be Necrosis.
Yeah, I like
the Brax guys.
I like Necrosis. You know, funny story. He doesn't have a 40K approved stamp in that book.
Ooh,
tisk.
Yeah, it's got to be an oversight.
I got a quick question too on the Apocalypse stuff. In a normal game of 40K, if everything is allowed, am I allowed to take anything out of the Apocalypse book in a game of 40K?
Yes, no. But there's a conversion chart. Like I think Forge World's got it on one of the downloads. It tells you what is a Lord of War and whatever.
Yeah. Okay, that's my big
formations.
That was my major question. Like, because I have no idea how any of this stuff works. Because Adepticon showed up their draft, and it seems like they said Imperial Warhammer's allowed. So I've been going crazy. I mean, I'm working on a Brass Scorpion right now. Like I was working on one today. Like I need it.
Most of that stuff in there, Kenny, is Lord of Wars or 40K, 40K legal. Just the things you probably have to steer clear of are the Apocalypse formations.
Cool.
Apocalyptic formations.
I figured I'd ask the experts because this is the first time I've even touched this Apocalypse thing, and I'm liking it. Like I want the giant spawn. I want all the Brass Scorpions.
What about that Tower of Skulls?
I want the Tower of Skulls.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want them all. I want all the toys.
Some of them is cool, but there's like a whole patch of stuff that is just overcosted, and then there's like just a couple of things that are right in that sweet spot, and there's a couple of things that are way undercosted.
Essentially, I'm super sad about the Lord of Skulls. Like the Lord of Skulls is so cool, except that when you think about his rules and you compare him to a Night Titan, you realize that he should be the same points as a Night Titan, not 800 points.
He's themey, man. He's themed.
He's like not as good as a Night Titan, but he's 800 points. But the Brass Scorpion is 700 points, and he's absolutely worth 700 points.
That new Night Castigator is pretty good.
He is good.
I am so sad. I want to play Angrath. That's the big bloodthirster back there. He's 888 points. And I swear for like the last three book editions, he has not been worth his points. But I want to play him so bad.
Yeah, he keeps getting kind of nerfed. There was one there when you could take him in a
Lost in the Dam
list.
That was when it was the heat.
Yeah, that was good.
That was the one year I didn't.
You got Basilisk and an 800-point bloodthirster.
Neck, please.
Yeah, that was bad days.
All right.
Hey,
well,
I'm hitting you up right now on Facebook with some list ideas.
Sounds good. Oh, I didn't see Jake on the video chat, but he hit us up with a list in Facebook, so we'll be responding to that too. Anyway, guys, we're at 11 o'clock. It's been our hour. I want to thank everybody for showing up, and really thank you guys for hanging out in the chat. I know we kind of wandered around a little bit, but it was nice talking with everybody. We'll try to get as many questions as we can. If we did not get to your question here, please, and it's something you need for a game or coming up soon, hit us up on Facebook. We try to get to as many replies as we possibly can.
Kenny, that book's upside down.
No, it's not.
Anybody else got anything they want to add before we get out of here?
No, just big thanks to everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
See you guys.
Night, everybody.